Let's see see the madness that goes on in the peanut gallery. Oh my God, the bullet points, man. So, you are three people who want a dog and could take care of a dog, but your son who didn't want the dog has to, even though you told him he wouldn't have to. What you've taught your son: you are a liar. It's okay to not take care of your own responsibilities, and you punish him intentionally because he isn't you. Edit, thank you for the awards. I appreciate it, but please stop. This comment isn't genius or anything great. Stop! Stop with the word. Hero's not a word we use lightly. You know what? It's the firefighters that are the real. Stop. Dylan, I won't interact with the dog. OP buys the dog. Dylan doesn't interact with the dog. OP, by the way, you're the asshole. Let me get this straight. Your son doesn't like sports, so it's hard for you to connect with him. He didn't want a dog, but you got one anyway, and when he didn't change his mind, you punished him. The one hobby you say he does like, comics, you want to ban him from until he shows interest in your hobby. Okay? You know what? When you put it that way, I'm starting to think this guy might be a little bit of an asshole. You're the asshole. Big time. Poor Dylan. 7 years and counting. Want to bet? What is that? Oh, until he can move out. Okay. Alex, the heir, the pride and joy with the same likes as you. Dylan, the spare, can't click with you because you do not understand him. Jake, the baby, again, someone you can click with. Holy cow, man. Dylan's situation sounds like the typical overlooked middle child. Here's my impression of middle children. This is classic middle child stuff. This reminds me so much of being a middle child. Sorry. Middle children mouthing. I'm a middle child. I'm also the oldest and the youngest. Riddle me this. He is his own person, has not to be your carbon copy to show the world your manliness, your prowess betwixt the sheets. You wore your wife down with weeks of nagging, then you set your sights on your defenseless child. He said no, you pressured him. You used your your position as an authority person to wear him down, saying yes to a dog. He warned you, your dog, not his problem. And what are you doing now? Again, stomping over him, trampling his boundaries into the dust, just because, again, he isn't a carbon copy of you, is his own person, with his own wants and his own needs? In future years, when you browse through social media and see a post that he is engaged but he didn't tell you, when you see wedding photos for a wedding you got no invitation to, the birth, the baptism of a grandchildren you will never see, then search for this post, read it, and maybe then you will understand that no is a full sentence. But until then, the Lord of the Manor wants a dog. Lord of the Manor gets a dog after nagging, cajoling, pressuring wife and middle child into agreeing. But now the Lord is pissed that a forced yes is still a no, and again abuses his authority as a parent to pressure said child into behavior the Lord deems acceptable. There are people out there who dislike dirt. There are people out there who dislike dogs, who want a gerbil, a cat, a snake. There are people out there who are so against getting a pet since they know exactly who will have to care for them. Not the owner, no. The care will be placed onto their shoulders if they want it or not, as you are doing now. But guess what? There are people out there who know how to help themselves, to stand up for themselves. How often do you think you can force Dylan to try to bond with Zeus by walking him? To play with him? To care for him? How fast comes the day when you come home from work and get informed that Dylan walked Zeus, as the Lord ordered, but sadly Zeus got away and is nowhere to be found? And all this just because you can't accept that Dylan is not you. Dylan's gonna kill the dog? Edit, thank you for the Redditors for the kind awards. I finally figured out how to get a notice for them and say thank you via the chat, I hope. In case this doesn't work again, thank you. And please say a prayer for Dylan, will ya? Holy. Sanest comment on the internet just dropped? Why is it it's written like, this comment was brought to you by Peter Baelish. Lord of the Manor wanted a dog, but that didn't matter. Peter did not want one, but that didn't matter, did it, Ned? Did it? What the Lord wants, the Lord gets. And who had to look after the dog? Who had to feed it and water the dog and find an off-leash park? Because in a normal park, you can't take your dog off the leash or someone might yell at you because there's kids running around. Not to mention, it wasn't until the eldest child started. Imagine reading this insane comment and then being like, you know what? Not to mention, it wasn't until the eldest child started siding with the mother and brother that OP started second-guessing himself. The words of his wife and son were not enough. This is the vibe at, like, PAX when somebody in like, Shepherd cosplay goes up and gets a hot dog. It's my favorite hot dog on the Citadel. Yeah, that'll be, $6.97 there. Did you want a side salad with that, or are you good with the fries? When someone Googles total asshole, I'm guessing your photo pops up first. You're a manipulative husband and a crappy father who doesn't like it when he can't get his own way. Well, I mean, it's a little much. Plus, I've Googled it, and that is not what comes up, by the way. Sane, it's a lot of sanity. One that's written like a, like an essay where every line is its own paragraph. Nope. No? Okay. All right, fair enough. Nothing's ever going to compare to the second best comment for sure.